Okay, welcome back in. There were a total of 9 games on Thursday night, so let's dive in and see who won. So David Pastrnak would kick things off in the first, getting his fifth goal of the season from Proitis, 11 minutes and 57 seconds of the frame. I should have mentioned the first game was the Bruins, and they were taking on the Dallas Stars. Matt Duchene would tie the game up, getting his fourth goal of the year from Sagan and Harley, and that goal happened with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first, so we were all tied up at 1 heading into the second period. In the second, Jason Robertson would break the tie just 31 seconds into the frame, a power play goal, his fourth of the year from Ben and Heiskanen. Logan Stankoven would get a power play goal of his own, his first of the year from Duchene and Marchman, 4 minutes and 57 seconds of the frame. Tyler Sagan would score, getting his fourth of the season, a power play goal for him, assist by Marchman and Duchene, 8 minutes and 59 seconds of that period. Justin Brazeau would get a power play goal for the Bruins, getting his first goal of the year from Frederick and Geeky, 10 minutes and 41 seconds of the frame. So the Stars had a 4-2 lead heading into the third period. With just over 2 minutes to go, the Bruins would pull their goalie. Rupe Hintz would get the empty net goal, his fourth of the year from Sagan, and that's where we would stand at the end of regulation. So 5-2 would be the final in favor for the Stars. The next game took place in Toronto as the Maple Leafs played host to the St. Louis Blues. In the first period, Philip Broberg would give the Blues a 1-0 lead, getting his second goal of the season from Kyrou and Buchnevich, 4 minutes and 7 seconds of the first. Dylan Holloway would get a power play goal, assisted by Brendan Saad, 10 minutes and 31 seconds of that same period. So the Blues had a 2-0 lead heading into the second period. Oliver Ekman-Larsson would get his first goal as a Toronto Maple Leafs, assisted by Riley and Tavares, 6 minutes and 20 seconds of the second period. Alexander Texier would get his first goal as a member of the Blues from Kyrou and Buchnevich, 7 minutes and 58 seconds of the second period. Heading into the third, the Blues had a 3-1 lead. Jake Neighbors, who recently re-signed with the Blues, would get his third goal of the season, assisted by the captain, Braden Shen, 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the third. Dylan Holloway would get his second goal of the game, an empty net goal, assisted by Justin Falk, with 16 minutes and 42 seconds of the third period. So the Blues would win this game by a final score 5-1. The Detroit Red Wings played host to the New Jersey Devils. In the first period, Nico Hischier would get his sixth goal of the season, a power play goal from Bratt, 12 minutes 11 seconds of the first. Christian Fischer would get his first goal of the season from Kopp, 18 minutes and 9 seconds of the same period. Alex DeBrincat, I should say, would score late in the first. Well, technically, it was just 15 or 25 seconds after Fischer scored. For DeBrincat, it was his third goal of the season. It was unassisted. The Red Wings had a 2-1 lead heading into the second period. Eric Hall would tie the game up at 2, getting his third goal of the year, a power play marker from Meyer and Luke Hughes, just over 4 minutes into that second period. In the third period, Dylan Larkin would break the tie, getting his fourth goal of the season, a power play marker from Kane and Raymond, and that goal happened with just over 9 minutes to go, so just over 9 minutes into the third period. Nico Hischier would get his second goal of the game, his seventh of the season, a power play goal from Hughes and Dougie Hamilton, 11 minutes and 41 seconds of the third period. Patrick Kane, not Crane, will get his second goal of the season, a power play goal from Raymond and DeBrincat, 16 minutes and 28 seconds of the third, I apologize. Michael Rasmussen would increase the lead to 5-3, an empty net goal from Edvinson, and that will happen with 12 seconds to go on the clock. An empty net goal, so the Red Wings would win 5-3. The Tampa Bay Lightning played host to the Minnesota Wild. In the first period, just a lone goal to report. Kirill Kaprizov will get his third goal of the year from Rossi and Broden, 6 minutes and 23 seconds of the first period. In the second period, Brandon Hagel would get a shorthanded marker, a sixth goal of the season from Girelli and Juranic, 8 minutes and 55 seconds of the same frame. Nikita Kucherov would give the Lightning a 2-1 lead, his eighth goal of the year from Paul and Perovic, 11 minutes and 31 seconds of the second frame. Joel Eriksson would score with 1 minute and 38 seconds to go for Eriksson Ek. That would be his third goal of the season from Bogosian and Boldy. So heading into the third period, we were all tied up at 2. In the third period, Matt Boldy would get his fourth goal of the year from Zuccarello and Kaprizov, just under a minute into the third period, a power play marker, and Kaprizov would then get an empty net goal, his second goal of the game from Lacko and Middleton, his fourth of the season. And that goal happened with 34 seconds to go in the frame. So the Wild would win this game by a final score 4-2. The New York Rangers were playing host to the Florida Panthers. This is a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Final. In the first period, Anton Lundell would open up the scoring just under a minute into the first period, his fifth goal of the year from Reinhard and Luosterainen. Carter Verhaeghe would score, getting his first of the season from Forsling, making it 2-0 at that point in favor of the Panthers, 2 minutes and 42 seconds of the first period. With just over 4 minutes into the period, Alexis Lafreniere would finally get the Rangers on the board, assisted by Adam Fox. So it was 2-1 at that point in favor of the Florida Panthers. In the second, Sam Bennett would get a sixth goal of the year from Makola and Kulikov, 6 minutes and 59 seconds of the second frame. And that would be the last goal. There was nothing else in the second or nothing else in the third. So 3-1 would be the final score in favor of the Panthers. The Calgary Flames are playing host to the Carolina Hurricanes. Seth Jarvis would get his second goal of the season, a power play goal from Aho and Nietzsche, 12 minutes and 29 seconds of the first. In the second period, Jack Roslovic would get his third goal of the year from Burns and Svechnikov just 41 seconds into the frame, giving the Hurricanes a 2-0 lead. Martin Nietzsche would score, increasing the lead to 3-0, getting his third goal of the year from Gostisbehere and Kotkaniemi just a minute and 59 seconds into the second frame. Jake Bean would finally get the Flames on the board, getting his first goal of the year from Zary and Backlund, 13 minutes and 1 second of the second frame. So heading into the third period, it was 3-1 in favor for the Hurricanes. Jonathan Huberdeau would cut the deficit to 3-2, getting his fourth goal of the year from Kirkland and Anderson, and that goal happened 13 minutes and 5 seconds of the third period. The Flames would pull their goalie with just over 2 minutes to go. Eric Robinson would get an empty net goal, assisted by the goaltender, Kochetkov. So the first goal, empty net goal, and the first loss for the Calgary Flames, I should say. So there were a lot of firsts in this game. So 4-2 would be the final score in favor of Carolina. Alrighty, now we're off to Utah, as the Utah Hockey Club played host to the Colorado Avalanche. Ross Colton would open up the scoring in the first, getting his seventh goal of the year, a power play marker from Rantanen and Mittelstadt, just over 9 minutes into the first period. With a minute and 40 seconds to go on the clock, Cale Makar would get his third goal of the year from Rantanen and Kovalenko, so the Avalanche had a 2-0 lead heading into the second period. Casey Mittelstadt would make it 3-0, getting his fifth goal of the year from Malinsky and Kovalenko, 14 minutes and 25 seconds of the second frame. Ivan would get his first National Hockey League goal, congratulations, a power play marker from McKinnon and Casey Mittelstadt, and that goal happened with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the frame. So heading into the third, the Avalanche had a 4-0 lead. Lawson Crouse would finally get the Utah Hockey Club on the board with 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go. For Crouse, that'd be his third goal of the year from Machelli and Ian Cole. Just over 30 seconds after that, Joel Kiraventa would increase the lead to 5-1, getting his fourth goal of the season, and it would be unassisted. 5-1 would be the final score in favor of the Avalanche. The Seattle Kraken played host to the Winnipeg Jets. Matt Beniers would open up the scoring in the first, getting his first of the season unassisted, 11 minutes and 27 seconds of the frame. In the second period, Niederreiter would tie the game up at 1, getting his third goal of the year from Appleton and Adam Lowry. Gabriel Velarde would give the Jets a 2-1 lead, 15 minutes and 5 seconds of the second period, assisted by Scheifele and Kyle Connor. Heading into the third period, the Jets had a 2-1 lead. Niederreiter would strike again, getting his second goal of the game, his fourth of the season from Perfetti and Pionk, 14 minutes and 21 seconds of the third. Jordan Eberle would cut the deficit to 3-2, getting his sixth goal of the year from McCann and Beniers, 11 minutes and 1 second of the third period. And then with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go, Matty Beniers would get his second goal of the game, his second goal of the season, assisted by Montour and McCann. We would need overtime to settle this one, and Nick Ehlers would get the game-winning goal, his third of the year, from Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. So despite the fact that the Jets almost blew the lead, they still are undefeated after their victory over Seattle. And the last game from Thursday took place in Los Angeles as the Kings played host to the still winless San Jose Sharks. In this first period, Jordan Spence would open up the scoring, getting his first goal of the year from Moore and Deneau, 4 minutes and 31 seconds into the first. Warren Foegele would strike, getting his second goal of the season, assisted by Lafreniere, 8 minutes and 47 seconds of the first frame. Foegele would score again just almost 4 minutes after that, almost 3 minutes after that, getting his second goal of the game, his third of the season, from Lafreniere and Clark. So heading into the second period, the Kings had a 3-0 lead. Michael Granlund would finally get the Sharks on the board, getting a power play goal, his second of the season, from Thompson Wenberg, 10 minutes and 5 seconds of the second. And then the third, Granlund would strike again, which is just remaining on the clock. Another power play goal from Thompson Wenberg. Unfortunately for the Sharks, they weren't able to mount a comeback, so they are still winless on the season. The final score will be 3-2. I just want to take a look at the standings now that I'm finally caught up on all my videos. So in the Atlantic, Florida is still leading the way after 9 games. They are 5-3-1. The Sens are in second place, 4-2-0. The Tampa Bay Lightning are 4-3-0. In the Metropolitan, New York has now taken over first place. They are 5-1-1. They have 11 points. New Jersey has 5. They are 5-4-1. They also have 11 points. Washington is 5-1-0 for 10 points. Those are the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference for both divisions. In the wild card, you have Carolina. They are 4-2-0. The Red Wings are 4-3-0. The Leafs are just on the outskirt of the playoffs. They are 4-4-0. Buffalo is 3-4-1. Boston's 3-4-1 as well. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 3-4-1. So 3 teams have the exact identical record. Then the Blue Jackets are 3-3. New York is 2-2-2. Montreal is 2-4-1. And Philadelphia is 1-5-1. Taking a look at the Western Conference. So I just finished saying how the Jets are still undefeated. They are 7-0-0, first, obviously, in the Central Division. The Minnesota Wild are 5-0-2. Dallas is 6-2. 6-2-0, I should say. Calgary is still in first place in the Pacific with a record of 5-1-1. The Kings are 4-2-2. Vegas Golden Knights are 4-2-1. So those are the top 6 teams in the Western Conference, or the divisions, I should say, respectively. The Blues have the first wildcard spot as we speak. They're 5-3-0. Seattle is 4-3-1. They have 9 points. Utah is just on the outside looking in with a 4-3-1 record, same record as Seattle. Vancouver is 3-1-2. Colorado is 4-4-0. Anaheim is 3-2-1. Chicago is 2-4-1. Edmonton is 2-4-1. Nashville is 1-5-0. And the Sharks are still winless. They're 0-6-2. Alrighty, that takes care of Thursday's recap from the National Hockey League. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.